Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of us all? Does your mirror answer, you, my lady? I'll be surprised if it did. Because in your own mind, aren't you always competing with the Snow Whites of the world? Some Snow Whites you see only with their makeup on. Some photoshopped images of Snow Whites. Some supermodel type Snow Whites who starve themselves to fit into that size 0. And then, of course, there are those Snow Whites who've gone under the knife to get that perfect nose or pout. No wonder then, only 4% of the women around the world consider themselves beautiful. A Harvard University study found that 80% of all women are unhappy with their bodies, and just 1% are completely happy. Men, on the other hand, were broadly happy with how they looked. And if I were to ask you, how many things do you love about your body? How many of you would be able to say more than 5? Would you say 2? Would you say 0? I hope not. You might ask, what's the big deal if we women don't think we are beautiful? Well, here's why it's important. At least part of our worth seems to be tied to our waistline. How we women feel about our looks greatly affects our self-esteem, well-being, and happiness. Have you ever wondered why the cosmetics market is booming? Why diet books make money? Why is the weight loss industry thriving? Why do fashion magazines, sauna belts, herbal pills sell? And why do jerks get women? It's because low self-esteem is easy to take advantage of. Thank God, I realized it in time and I didn't land up with one. Girls as young as 8 years old display negative attitudes towards their bodies, as shown by the Keep It Real campaign. They found that 80% of all 10-year-old American girls have at some point in their lives gone on at least one diet. When I read these statistics, I was alarmed and disturbed. But I thought this can't be true in India, until my own 8-year-old daughter stopped eating butter, saying, "It'll make my tummy fat. Mama, have you seen my arms are jiggling like jelly? And I hate it." In a way, only 8-year-old girls talk. There it was, happening at my own home, right under my nose. So here I was at my daughter's 8th birthday party, looking at all her friends, looking all pretty, dressed up, posing and pouting, as you can see for yourself. And what do I notice? Some girls refuse to eat fries and ask for garlic bread without cheese. They sure catch them young. I have heard women say, nobody can be too thin. Think, how much should our visual diet be blamed for this? From the magazines I read, to the movies I watch, to the mannequins where I shop, to the Barbie dolls my daughter plays with, don't they all perpetuate the idea that an ultra-thin woman is the ideal? Several researchers have documented the immensely powerful impact media has on us. For instance, a 95 study dramatically showed us that just 3 minutes spent looking at skinny models in fashion magazines caused 70% of women to feel guilty, ashamed, and depressed. So now do we all know that seeing images of beautiful slim women makes us feel worse about our bodies? Right? Come on, say right if you agree. Right. Wrong. Can't believe it? I have research that found the opposite. So this is what we did. We decided to bring young girls into the lab and run a little experiment. So we took about 100 Indian undergraduate girls, aged between 18 to 21, and randomly divided them into 2 groups. One group was shown photographs of thin, attractive models, emphasizing different body parts. The other group was shown photographs of pens. We, of course, were expecting to find that the group that was shown photographs of models, such as these, would report feeling worse about their bodies. Much to our surprise, we found there was no difference between both the groups on both body dissatisfaction and the emotions of anger, fear, guilt, and hostility. So what was happening here? Did the students not find the models attractive? That couldn't possibly be the reason, Because when we were selecting pictures for the study, we asked a number of students what they thought of the models. And about 75% of them said that they found the models attractive. We were so perplexed that we decided to ask the participants what was going on in their minds when they saw these attractive models. We came up with 3 kinds of responses. First, media fatigue. They had already seen too much of it all, perhaps leading to desensitization. Did you know that you young women today see more images of beautiful women in one day than your mothers saw throughout their adolescence? Think about that. Second, media awareness. The participants were quite aware of the reality behind the images they saw. Many found media depictions superficial and unreasonable. Some even dismissed the slimness of models as airbrushed, computer-generated, or artificially enhanced. And third, absence of social comparison with the models. They just couldn't relate to them. Some participants expressed pity and even repulsion after watching the slender models. One participant said, "I could never be like them, nor do I want to." Another participant said, "You know, these models have a very difficult lifestyle and very different priorities. I am happy the way I am." But did this mean that these young girls have not internalized the thin standards of beauty so prevalent in our societies? I too am a woman. I also like looking good. So what is it about these young women who felt that inner beauty was more important than physical beauty? If they really meant it, I started to wonder, am I vain? But I'm a social psychologist too. So I thought, what if someone similar to them told them that being beautiful was important? Could these young girls then escape such social pressure to be thin? So here's what we did now. We designed another study. We psychologists are very nosy, pretending we are doing research. This time, we selected an ultra-thin, very attractive, 20-year-old girl, I'll call her Jasmine, to be our accomplice for the experiment. Jasmine knew exactly what we were trying to study, but none of the other participants did, and they thought she was also a real participant. We gave both of them a simple task to do, and as soon as the task was over, we left the room on some pretext. Jasmine then engaged the actual participants in a pre-scripted conversation. To half the women, she complained about her body weight. Remember, she was ultra-thin. She also spoke about her extreme diet and exercise regime. She emphasized how being beautiful was important, and she also voiced her intentions to lose weight. To the other half, she spoke about neutral topics such as the weather. After 5 minutes, we re-entered the room and assessed the actual participants' body satisfaction. This time, there was indeed a huge significant difference between both the groups. The group of girls who engaged in fat talk was significantly more dissatisfied with their bodies as compared to those who spoke about neutral topics. So what does this mean? A real person just like you and me talking about fat talk affects us much, much more strongly than models on screens or magazines. The problem is, and I learned this from research, is that we are our worst enemies, not the media that we keep blaming. It's not them, it's us. And aren't we all guilty of such fat talk? The other day, I was out with a couple of friends shopping, and we decided to buy jeans. So I was trying a pair of jeans, and as soon as I tried and I looked into the mirror, I told my friend, "My God, I think my bum looks really huge in this." My good friend remarked, "You must be joking. If yours is huge, mine is humongous." Men in the audience may be unfamiliar with such body-demeaning conversations, but we women look at it as a contagious social ritual. How many of you know what I'm talking about here? Say aye. Aye. Yes, 93% of women engage in fat talk. The seemingly harmless banter about our calorie intake or how we really need to hit the gym. The trickiest question a girl can ask her boyfriend while trying a new dress is, "Honey, do you think I'm looking fat in this?" Poor guy. He's in a position where he can't say anything right. Guys, you know the safest response to that one? "Baby, I love you." And there I see my husband nodding in agreement. Now, the bad news is, while most women do not enjoy fat talk, it compels us. It is so embedded amongst us that it often reflects not what the speaker actually feels about her body, but how she's expected to feel about it. Yes or no? And while we feel it makes us feel better about ourselves, it ends up making us feel guilty and creates more body dissatisfaction. One of the things we need to think about here is how and why we fat talk. We do it to bond, we do it to fit in. It's a natural response. If a friend says, "This color is all wrong, I think I'm looking very fat, I should have just stuck to wearing black." Another friend says, "No, you are just fine. Look at me. I'm on a no-carbs diet and I still have this huge paunch." What the second friend has done is that while it seems she has given an empathic response to the first one, she has reiterated that it's okay to hate your body. And by the way, that's the only reason why I didn't wear black. I do want my bulges to show. The good news now is, together we can control fat talk. I invite you to try this. The next time a friend says, "No guy is ever going to date me unless I lose some weight," try telling her, "Such a guy can go sit on a pencil for all I care." If you want to hit the gym, go hit the gym. Don't tell everyone what you intend to do. If you don't want to eat that donut, don't eat it. But please don't feel sorry for yourself. If you want to eat it, please eat it and enjoy it. Go ahead and wear what you want to wear. Look into the mirror each day and admire one positive thing about yourself. Love your body. It's the most amazing thing you'll ever own. Not your little black dress, not your sexy stilettos, and certainly not your red lipstick. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. Isn't it about time we tried a new vocabulary? How about this? Tires are already called love handles, I'm told. How about we call paunch belly spread? We could call jelly arms Marilyn Monroe arms. I quite like it actually. How about we can call thunder thighs spa thighs? And we can definitely call a double chin wise chin. Ladies, you're doing just fine. Don't change a thing. Just stop fat talking. You can lose all the weight in the world, but if you don't love yourself, you're going to be weighed down forever. We have 5 senses to feel the world. Yes or no? We were taught that in grade 2. And how many do we use to evaluate beauty? Largely one, our eyes. What if we use all our other senses? What if we use our sense of smell? And by the way, no perfume company is paying me for saying this, although I wish they were. What if we use our ears to hear beautiful voices? What if we use our sense of touch, both literally and metaphorically, as how someone touches your heart? And what if we use our 6th sense of aura? Isn't this what we need rather than such a narrow definition of beauty? So even if you don't think you are that good looking, you can definitely be sexy. Sexy is an attitude, while beauty is part biology. I think sexy is someone who's strong and confident. You're as sexy as you think you are. It's not the dress that makes you look fat. It's the fat that makes you look fat, right? And you correct me if I'm wrong, but will we care? No. Say loudly with me, no. No weighing scale in the world has the power to value our worth. Fat is healthy. Fat is energy. Fat is not bad, it's fab. So let's not misuse the F word, and I certainly don't mean that F. Thank you.